Hey Jos, nice that you're here.
Thanks for inviting me to this podcast.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So today we're gonna talk about the perfect store. It's a report that you've built with your team.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's just dive in.
Yes, Dagmi. Well, also thank you for inviting me for this podcast. It's nice to also to show a little bit of the work that we are doing
Yeah,
currently.
it's something that you've built with your company. Jos, but before we start, can you tell a little bit about you and the company, and then let's dive in the perfect store.
Tada Solutions, we are an Eindhoven-based data management company. We basically do everything that a customer would like to do on the area in the area of data management. Everybody, of course, knows the dashboarding that a lot of companies have
Yeah,
to get insights in their company, but we also do a lot of data management, data warehousing, and stuff like that.
nice. And today we're going to dive in the perfect store. It's kind of a dashboard, right? That addresses how the retail store online is whether it's optimized or not, whether it's perfectly fit for the brands. Could you walk us through yeah the reason why you built that?
We have built this for a big agency who works also for, we will show that briefly in the dashboard, of course, but they work for a big company that manufactures paints. And yeah, they just wanted to know how their products behave on the website, and also to see everything about the products on the online retailers.
And what types of elements do you look at then? Because the perfect store. What is the perfect store? What type of elements are you looking at in the dashboard?
Well, the perfect store basically looks at all the elements that are on a landing page of a product. So you can think about the USPs that are on a web page, reviews. We collect all the reviews and show all the good reviews, of course, but also the bad reviews.
Yeah.
We look at page titles, meta descriptions, basically everything that is on a web page.
Ah, that's nice. And
Yeah.
if so what comes out of the report? Because I can imagine that some of them are good, some of them are not. Why is this important to know? Like, what will they do with this data?
What they do with this data is that they are, of course, constantly optimizing the web pages for their customers. So you can imagine that if you have to do that as a person and you have to check 3,000 web pages yeah, every week, because they do this on a weekly basis, that is basically not possible to do that for one person. So
Yeah.
what we do, we together with the customer, we made a couple of rules that we look at. For instance, the page title, it has to be between 40 and 60 characters. And we do that for all the elements that we scrape via your product, the shopping scraper.
Yeah.
And then we automatically load in the data every week. And the person who's responsible as a product owner for the company, she or he only has to look at the dashboard to see what pages are good and what pages are not good.
And with that data, they probably pick up the phone and have a call with their customer and then
Yeah.
explain, hey, I see this and this happening on your site. Could you improve this and this?
What they have is that they can export the content. So they have a dashboard that gives them green or red lights, but they can also export content and send that to the customer, and they can then they can pinpoint where they have to optimize the page and what element do they have to add a picture or make the content title a little bit longer. And
Nice.
yeah, that's very effective also for the customer. It saves them a lot of time also.
Yeah,
Every
interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can we also dive into the report itself? Could you share your screen and
Yeah, of course.
tell
Yeah,
me what
yeah.
it's all about?
It's maybe better to show something than to talk about it. Let me see.
And the actual data that is in there is like real data, right? It's fetched using the API, Shopping Scraper API, and that data is shown here.
Yeah, exactly. We have reviews that we gather via the scraper. Also, all the info that is on the page, and that works. We update it every week so that it's up to date every Monday. That the person come to the office, he can check the dashboard and to
Yeah.
see everything. Yeah. As you can see, the agency that we are working for is OMG Transact, which is a big agency that has a lot of big customers in the Netherlands. Basically, the products lines that they have and which we have loaded into the dashboard.
Nice.
So basically, this is the first page that they can look at when they come into the office. Maybe also interesting to share is that we build everything in Power BI. And this is a BI system which is readily available in the cloud, of course. So you do not have to install everything on your laptop or something like that.
Yeah.
And it is also easily available for everybody within the company. So we are sharing this with our customer OMG Transact, of course. I will make it a little bit bigger so that you can that we can dive a little bit easier into the dashboard. But what you basically see here is a total score of the distribution. As I told a few minutes ago, is that we, of course, look at a couple of elements in the landing pages on the online retailer. So we are looking at page titles, but also at USPs and reviews and stuff like that. But this is basically the page where we collect everything and show this as one figure so that the customer can see what is the general situation of the online retailers at the moment.
Nice. So they can slice and dice between the product lines, the brands itself. And if they want to dive into one of those retailers, how does that work?
If they want to dive into the retailers, then they can go to the next page. We have, I can show a competitor overview. But if we go to the content details, here we can dive into the retailers that you see here on the left. So I was talking about a lot of elements that we track every week. So we are looking at title, description, images. And these are all buttons that make it possible to select certain elements on the web page. What you then see here is these are all the products that we are running every week. And you can see based on the coloring scheme, you can see whether an element of the web page is good or not good. Of course, when it's green, that means that it is within the boundaries that we have set with the customer.
Yeah.
And if it's red, that means that there needs to be a little bit more attention to optimizing these web pages.
Yeah, so the customer defined what a green light would be and what red would mean.
Yeah, exactly. So on the starting page, I will not bother you with that for right now, but on the starting page, you can see all the characteristics that we have set. So how long does a description need to be maximal?
Yeah.
As you can see here, the amount of images, this is all red. The perfect number of images would be 5. So this means that it is, that's why it's red over here. Yeah.
Ah, nice. You can also highlight the image over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you can, you see the topics or the images. And what you can also do, you can also go to the web page if you want to look at why it is red. Then you can also step out of this dashboard and go to the actual landing page.
Yeah, to see for yourself whether it's
exactly
whether the data is right or not.
And this is basically a summary of all the certain topics. But if you want to look at it in more detail, then you can see here the different topics. So the title, the description. Here you can see that, for instance, the length is 85 of the title. And what we then also do is that we show if there is a problem. So in this case, it is a bit too long. We also want to make it a little bit more.
So basically, this is the backlog which you can hand over to your client, like or your customer. Like, okay, so we have a list of recommendations.
Yeah.
Our suggestions to improve your your site, in our opinion, and then you
Yeah,
can discuss that together with your customer.
yeah, exactly. And what we are now are doing is that they already have some kind of export format that they share with their customers. And what we are now trying to do or are building is that we are using that export with the data that is in here. So you can imagine that what they do right now is that they share this with their customer. But they also want to make that a little bit more operational, that they can make an export basically, let's say in Excel, which goes to the person who needs to update everything, and they have basically some kind of a task list that makes it very easy to optimize the web pages.
So this is this the main screen? What it's all about? Is this the screen that is used most often, or is there like another?
Yeah, this is the most important screen because you can see everything about the content, of course, but we also have a page where we can show the SEO details. So it has a little bit of the same character as you can see, but it is focusing on meta titles and meta description.
Ah, okay, nice.
Yeah, and this is something that the customer can use to see how many reds there are, because basically they will focus on the red parts to improve the optimization, of course, of the landing pages.
Yeah. And what about review data?
Reviews also collected, so we have a overview page where you can see all the amount of reviews, of course, and then also per brand.
Nice.
And this is what we also have added to this dashboard is the sentiment. That is basically an algorithm that we have created based on the text that has been written and the rating. Because you can imagine that sometimes, as you can see here, there is a 5-star rating, but there often is also a text in there that has a more neutral rating. So that is something that we have added, so that a 5-star rating is not always good.
Like a very positive sentiment. It really depends on the
what they write.
The review itself. Yeah.
So that's an element where they can, which they can use to pinpoint maybe some things that they can improve basically on a product. So this is basically used also for the end customer to see if they can improve product packaging or stuff like that.
Yeah. And Niels, how long does it take usually to set up this kind of report with your clients?
Well, that depends. If you look at the standards that we have for e-commerce, that is, we can do that within a week. This was more of a product that they wanted to have built. So, and that's normally I think that we in 3 or 4 weeks we can develop this kind of dashboarding.
Yeah, and your company also has a because this is the perfect store, right? Where it looks at the product content and whether the reviews are in there or not. There's also a pricing dashboard that you have. Can you also share a little bit more about your pricing dashboard and what clients are using that?
Yeah, that basically works the same as this dashboard. So we also use the shopping scraper to collect all kinds of prices from customers or competitors, of course. So that's something that we could also add to this dashboard if we want to know if pricing has an effect on, for instance, the number of products that people buy.
Yeah.
What we then do is that we collect all the prices of the online retailers every day. We need to do that on a daily basis because prices can fluctuate with the week. And then we can also show all the prices and which organizations have the lowest price or the highest price, and that can directly be used by online retailers to make the prices higher or
because that's interesting, because if you combine it with this report you can also see, and if you also have sales data, that you can like see what is happening due to an increase or a decrease in pricing what that does with your sales, and also check out whether the content at the moment was right or not. So
Yeah.
you make like a holistic view of of what's happening with your brand on a certain site. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jos, we've talked about the perfect store. You also have a pricing dashboard available, where you use the pricing data of different marketplaces. Please show me what kind of data. What do you do with the data?
Yeah, this is an example of a pricing dashboard that we have made. So, as I told you a few minutes ago, we use a shopping scraper to collect prices of a lot of web shops every day. And what we then can do is to show the prices of the day per product. We can show the price of yesterday and also the change, which is very important for companies to see what kind of pricing they need to apply. And it was also interesting that you can see the price changes over time in here. So if you want to monitor a competitor, for instance, then you can use this dashboard to track the pricing over time and to update pricing if that's needed.
Yeah, cool. So you're matching all the products using our EAN matching, right? So you send
Yeah.
the EAN code to Shopping Scraper, you get all sellers, and with that, if you scrape that data every day, you can show it in a graph like this, where you can see that a certain retailer has dropped in pricing or increased the pricing.
Yeah, exactly, and it worked very easily because if we use a shopping scraper, we only need to collect the data, and after that, the dashboard updates automatically, and basically there is no work that needs to be done to constantly calculate the pricing on
Yeah.
this in this
And
area.
I think it's very nice because currently we're seeing the pricing for one specific country, right? You can also make this for the report for different countries, or check whether the pricing in neighboring countries is different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, exactly. And you can, as you can see here, you can select on products, you can select on stores. So also for internal presentations, you can also make some snapshots out of here,
yeah.
which you then can use to inform management or your team, of course. Yeah.
And I think the real strength in having this data, additionally to the data you've shown before, right, with the perfect store, is you can really give this holistic view on what is happening with the brand on a particular web shop, right? So you can check whether your invest in the company in that client really pays off or not, or whether the pricing changed during that period, and whether the sales increased or not. And that's really what it's about, right? Combining different data sources, which your company I think does on a daily basis, right? Um, Check out sales data from an internal database, check the pricing from our API to get the pricing, real-time pricing data, what is happening in the market. And if you combine those, you'll get really something powerful where you can give explanations why something increased in sales or decreased in sales.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is with all this information, you can very easily create a holistic view of your company. Companies often do not know what kind of data they have in their organizations. But yeah, basically everything that is in there that marketing uses, sales uses, finance uses, you can use that every element you can use to create this holistic insights. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it's really nice to see what you can do with our data. As our data is just data, right? We don't show it in a nice graph, and I think your solution and your company is really able to make it alive, right? To actually make insights out of the pure data that we're delivering.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that the organizations can do a lot more with data, of course. You just saw a few snapshots of what is possible if you use the data on the correct way. And I think that there is, a lot to even overnieuw. Wat wil ik nou zeggen? And I think that there is a lot to gain for every organization when they use their data on the proper way. And also what is also possible in the area of AI and how you can use the information from dashboarding. Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, and just are you already experimenting with that, where you can talk with your data? Is that something that you already offering?
Yes, well, also with the Perfect Store, we are experimenting with the dashboard now gives red and green lights, but what we are experimenting with at this moment is that it also gives us a solution to optimize the title, for instance. And we are also looking at techniques to check out if the image is okay or not. We also have a lot of insights that we want to use for that. Yeah, so that we are using that a lot.
Yeah, and I really think that building these types of reports in the future, it'll be a prompt away. Like, okay, so I have this API. I would want to have a similar report like this. Build it for me.
Yeah,
That's probably the way where it goes to, and maybe in a couple of months, the AI world is going so fast.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think dashboarding is the easy part of my business. The most difficult part is collecting the right data and connecting it with each other, and connecting
Yeah,
the data,
and
connecting
making
the
sure
dots
that
basically. Yeah,
what you say the data is also actually the data, right? Is it the truth or not?
yeah,
Because there's also a lot of discrepancies, I think, over there where you mention, okay, the API scrapes it every day, but if you make a little mistake, then it could be that you're picking up the data from a total different either product or so.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the what is the truth, like the single source of truth. What is the truth? It's also
yeah.
I think
And
always.
data quality is basically the most important thing of
Yeah,
everything.
or
Yeah,
else you'll be looking at something which you think is the truth, but maybe
yeah,
it's not. Yeah. Yeah, Jos,
yeah.
thanks a lot for showing the actual data, right?
Mhm.
Because in the end, it's much better to see it in a real report how it's actually used.
Yeah.
So Jos, if one of the viewers is interested in either the pricing report or the perfect store, um, they can contact you directly on LinkedIn or send you an email.
Yeah, of course. And what is also interesting to mention is that we have set up some demos for a lot of customers together. You
Yeah.
with Shopping Scraper and we with the standard dashboard. So if people are interested to see how it works, yeah, based on the product list, we can set up something very easily. And
Ah, nice. So
the
maybe we
proof
can do
is in the
something
pudding,
like
in the eating.
if a client has 100 products and they would like to have a similar pricing dashboard, they can send us a DM or anything, and then we can
Yeah,
set it up together.
exactly.
Ah,
We can
that's
set up
super cool.
something that makes it visible. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Let's wrap up with that. Thanks again, Jos, and good luck with all the reports.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
See you, man. Bye.
Bye bye.